Hi everybody, and welcome back to the retroactive MCU review, Omnibus Edition. Number 3 on the list, and most likely number 1 in our hearts. The beloved MCU Phase 3. It gave us the Great War, the Great Divide, and introduced a multitude of significant characters to lead us towards the future. This is the pinnacle of the MCU in terms of popularity, box office success, and storytelling. This is also the longest phase of them all, with no less than 11 movies to wrap up the Infinity Saga. So, without further ado, grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's go on a journey. A journey into the Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 3 Omnibus Collection. Let's begin.
This isn't gonna change what happened. I don't care. He killed my mom.
Ding ding ding. It's time for the main event of the evening. Introducing in the red corner, Team Iron Man. Introducing in the red, white and blue corner, Team Captain America. Was it actually a civil war or just a civil disagreement? Was it civil to begin with? And what's so civil about war anyway? Which team are you on? Captain America, Civil War. Let's begin. Released in 2016 and is the 13th movie in the MCU, directed by the Russo brothers, the film serves as a major turning point in the MCU, pitting hero against hero in a conflict that has far-reaching consequences. So what happened? Remember how the Avengers wrecked things? After a mission in Lagos which resulted in the unintentional loss of civilian lives, thanks Wanda, the governments of the world came together to draft the Sokovia Accords. The Accords aim to place the Avengers under governmental control, requiring them to operate only when sanctioned by the UN. Tony Stark, guilt-ridden over past mistakes, supports the Accords as a way to avoid further collateral damage and to be held accountable for the Avengers' actions. However, Steve Rogers is skeptical of the Accords, fearing that they will compromise the Avengers' independence and prevent them from intervening in situations they deem necessary. The team becomes divided into two factions, Team Iron Man, who supports the Accords, and Team Captain America, who opposes them. At a UN Security Council meeting to debate the Accords, the situation escalates when Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, is implicated in a terrorist attack that kills King T'Chaka of Wakanda. As Bucky is the prime suspect, Steve Rogers is determined to protect his friend and find the true perpetrator. This puts him at odds with his fellow Avengers, especially Tony Stark, who just wants the Avengers to be put in check. Enter Black Panther, R.I.P. Chadwick. Amidst the conflict, T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, our beloved Black Panther, seeks revenge for his father's death, becoming embroiled in the dispute between the two teams. The clash between the two teams culminates in a heated battle at a surprisingly abandoned airport, with personal friendships and loyalties put to the test. Introducing the teams. Team Iron Man, Tony Stark supporting the Accords, believing they are necessary for accountability and to avoid further collateral damage. Black Widow chooses to side with Tony, for now at least. Vision, believing in the need for control and order. War Machine, Rhodey is firmly in favor of the Accords, believing they will provide structure and avoid chaos. Black Panther, initially aligned with Team Iron Man due to seeking revenge for his father's death. T'Challa later discovers the truth and shifts his stance. Vengeance will not consume him. and a very special guest appearance by the debuting Spider-Man. Yes, Spider-Man is now in the MCU, recruited by Tony, planting the seeds for their bond. Oh, look, he's got Cap Shield. Oh my god! Team Captain America. Steve Rogers, believing the Accords compromise the Avengers' independence and hinder their ability to act when necessary. Bucky is implicated in a terrorist attack, leading Steve to protect him from authorities and uncover the truth. Sam Wilson, the Falcon. Falcon stands with Captain America, always showing loyalty to his friend and fellow Avenger. Wanda Maximoff. Wanda also opposes the Accords, fearing the restriction they may impose on her abilities. Clint Barton, Hawkeye. Despite being retired and have a newborn baby, Clint joins Team Captain America to support his friends and fight for what he believes is right, for some reason. Special guest appearance by Ant-Man, who now seems to care a bit less about committing a felony, potentially going to jail, and not seeing his daughter, Cassie. Oh, Cassie. Cap and Bucky manage to escape. The rest of Team Cap is arrested. Rhodey nearly dies, and Iron Man is pissed. Captain America Civil War was a massive box office success. It grossed over $1.15 billion worldwide, making it one of the highest grossing films of 2016. The film's financial success further solidified the popularity of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and its ability to draw large audiences to theaters. Captain America Civil War is currently one of the highest grossing films in the entire MCU and remains a significant and influential entry in the franchise. The emotional heart of the film lies in the confrontation between Captain America and Iron Man in the final act. As personal and philosophical differences escalate, Steve and Tony's friendship is put to the ultimate test. Tony discovers Zemo's plan, and believe me, we'll talk about Zemo's plan, and goes to help Cap and Bucky fight those dormant Winter Soldiers thought would be unleashed on the world. The terrible secret hinted to us during Captain America the Winter Soldier is revealed. The Winter Soldier, Bucky, was responsible for the death of Tony Stark's parents, and Baron Zemo had footage to prove it. And what's even worse, Cap knew about it and did not say a thing. This revelation pushes Tony over the edge, resulting in a deeply emotional confrontation between him and Steve. The final battle between Captain America, Bucky, and Iron Man leaves lasting scars on the Avengers, both physically and emotionally. Cap and Bucky overcome Tony's rage. Tony's left on the ground. Cap chooses Bucky. Shield drop. No more Avengers. All according to Zemo's plan. Helmut Zemo, ex-Sokovian Special Forces operative, seeking revenge against the Avengers for the loss of his family and home in Sokovia. Zemo's plan revolves around exploiting the rift within the superhero team, caused by the Sokovia Accords and the emotional tension and dark secrets surrounding the Winter Soldier. Zemo's ultimate goal is to destroy the Avengers from within, causing them to turn against each other and ensuring that they can never be a united force again. Zemo won. Captain America Civil War is a standout film in the MCU due to its intense conflict and emotional depth. The movie successfully balances the action and spectacle expected of a superhero film, especially a Marvel one, with a compelling and thought-provoking exploration of loyalty, accountability, and the consequences of actions. The Russo brothers' direction brings a grounded and realistic tone to the film, enhancing its impact and emotional resonance. The performances from the ensemble cast, particularly Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr., are exceptional and elevate the material to new heights. The film's ability to make audiences sympathize with both sides of the conflict makes it a standout entry in the superhero genre. Captain America Civil War, aka Avengers 2.5, is a pivotal film in the MCU, with its conflict and key moments shaping the future of the franchise. The emotionally charged battle between Captain America and Iron Man, the introduction of new characters, and the consequences of the Sokovia Accords all make it a compelling and memorable addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. For fans of the MCU, Civil War is a must watch and continues to be regarded as one of the best superhero movies of all time.
Arrogance and fear still keep you from learning the simplest and most significant lesson of all.
Which is?
It's not about you.
The kind of magic. Is magic really science we just don't understand? Enter the world of mystic arts, Doctor Strange. Let's begin. Doctor Strange was released in 2016 and is the 14th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, starring Benedict Cumberbatch as our beloved Doctor Strange. The film introduces the audience to the world of mystical and magical powers within the MCU. Dr. Stephen Strange, a brilliant but arrogant neurosurgeon, after a tragic car accident leaves his hand severely injured and unable to perform surgery, Strange embarks on a desperate search for a cure. His quest leads him to Kamartaj, a mystical enclave in Nepal, where he encounters the Ancient One, a powerful sorcerer. Under the Ancient One's tutelage, Strange learns the mystic arts and gains access to powerful spells and artifacts. However, when former student Caecilius rebels against the Ancient One and seeks to unleash dark forces from the dark dimension, Strange must step up to protect reality and take his place as the Sorcerer Supreme. Dr. Stephen Strange's transformation in Doctor Strange is marked by a journey from arrogance and self-centeredness to selflessness and compassion. After a devastating accident ends his surgical career, he seeks a cure and discovers the mystical arts under the guidance of the Ancient One. Through rigorous training and humbling experiences, he sheds his ego, embraces his role as a protector, and becomes the Sorcerer Supreme, ready to defend the world from mystical threats. His growth is fueled by his relationship with Mordo and Christine Palmer, who serve as mentors and reminders of his humanity. Doctor Strange performed remarkably well. Let's try that again. Doctor Strange performed well at the box office. The movie was released in 2016 and grossed over $677 million worldwide. Its success solidified the character's place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and contributed to the expansion of the MCU's cosmic and mystical elements. Pretty well received by both critics and audiences. The film's mind-bending visual effects, particularly the trippy and mesmerizing sequences of astral projection and manipulation of reality, garnered much praise. Benedict Cumberbatch's portrayal of Stephen Strange was also widely acclaimed, capturing the character's arrogance and transformation into a powerful sorcerer. The movie's mix of superhero action and mystical elements was seen as refreshing and helped expand the MCU's storytelling possibilities. However, some critics noted that the plot followed a formulaic origin story structure, which is fair, and the character of Caecilius was perceived as a somewhat generic villain, right there on the level of Malekith or that Killian Mandarin wannabe from Iron Man 3. The Time Stone, also known as the Eye of Agamotto, is one of these Infinity Stones, and it grants its wielder the ability to manipulate time itself. Throughout the film, the Eye of Agamotto is presented as a mysterious and ancient relic held within the sanctum of Kamartaj. As Strange progresses in his training, he learns to harness the power of the Time Stone under the guidance of his mentor, your friend and mine, Wong. He discovers that the stone can be used to reverse or fast forward time, allowing him to manipulate events and outcomes. The Time Stone becomes instrumental in the climax of the film when Strange faces the dark sorcerer Caecilius, who seeks to unleash dark forces from the dark dimension. In a stunning display of power, Strange uses the Eye of Agamotto. If Doctor Strange could only turn back time. Oh wait, he can! And that's exactly what Strange does, sending Caecilius and his minions to the rewind dimension, if that's even a thing. Doctor Strange is all about the multiverse, and we get the first taste of the movie's exploration of the multiverse and the mystical art when Doctor Strange was on an all-out tour through the multiverse thanks to the Ancient One's tourism skills. So, Caecilius sucked as a villain, but we at least got Dormammu. Dormammu, I've come here to bargain. Dormammu, bound by the rules of the time loop, repeatedly kills Strange, but each time Strange returns, forcing Dormammu to relive the moment of defeat over and over again. Frustrated by the constant repetition and unable to escape, Dormammu finally agrees to Strange's terms. He releases Earth from his grasp and withdraws his forces from the realm. Dormammu will return. Maybe. This clever strategy and unwavering determination showcased Doctor Strange's intelligence and resourcefulness. By confronting Dormammu in this way, Strange was able to outwit and negotiate with an immensely powerful and ancient being, saving Earth, of course, from the imminent threat of invasion. And it was definitely cool to see Thor meeting Strange in the end credit scene to give us, the viewers, a glimpse of the upcoming Thor Ragnarok and affirming to us that Strange is here to stay. Doctor Strange offers a fresh and visually stunning take on the superhero genre. Its introduction to the mystical and magical aspects of the MCU expands the universe's horizons and sets the stage for future cosmic and multiverse-related storylines. With its captivating visuals, strong performances, and intriguing connections to the larger MCU, Doctor Strange remains a standout film in the ever-expanding Marvel Cinematic Universe.
You people have issues.
Well, of course I have issues. That's my freaking father!
Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2, released in 2017, is a dazzling and emotionally resonant installment in the MCU. Directed by James Gunn, his baby, the film reunites the eccentric crew of intergalactic misfits and even amplifies the family with the introduction of new characters, all while exploring deeper themes of family, identity, and personal growth. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, our amazing Guardians are back for another cosmic adventure. The film centers on Peter Quill's procreation origin story, and the reunion with his long-lost father, Ego, the living planet, played by Kurt Russell. As the Guardians get entangled in Ego's celestial machinations, they discover unsettling truth about his intentions. And guess what? Ego wants to rule everything. The movie further deepens the complex relationship within the team and further embellishes the concept of family. Gamora and Nebula, our beloved sisters, confront their shared history of abuse and rivalry, leading to a hard-hitting exploration of sibling dynamics. Nebula only wanted a sister. Rocket grapples with issues of identity and acceptance, while Drax forms an unexpected bond with the empathetic newcomer, Mantis. Welcome, Mantis! Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was a major box office hit, grossing over $863 million worldwide. Its visually stunning cosmic landscapes and vibrant character interactions captivated audiences, solidifying the Guardians' place as beloved figures in the MCU. This sequel expands the cosmic corner of the MCU and laid the groundwork for future storylines. The film introduces the Sovereign, a race of genetically perfect beings led by Aisha, who becomes a potential antagonist. Additionally, the post-credit scenes hint at the arrival of Adam Warlock, who would be revealed in the Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3. And no mention of any of the Infinity Stones. At the film's core lies the intricate bond between Peter Quill, Star-Lord, and his biological father, Ego, the living planet. Peter's eagerness to connect with his long-lost father is initially fueled by curiosity and longing for belonging. Ego's charismatic facade deepens Peter's yearning for a paternal connection. Yet, as the narrative unfolds, Ego's true motives are unveiled. He views his offspring, including Peter, as mere tools for his cosmic ambitions, shattering Peter's illusions. This revelation leads to a climatic showdown, highlighting the distinction between a biological father in the form of Ego and a genuine daddy in the form of Yondu. Yondu Udonta, the rough-edged Ravager captain who once abducted Peter, unexpectedly emerges as the father figure Peter truly needs. Behind Yondu's grief demeanor, his actions resonate with deep care and affection for Peter. Amidst Peter's struggles with identity and Ego's betrayal, Yondu's role as a true father figure becomes profoundly evident. Because as Yondu said, Ego may have been Peter Quill's father, but he wasn't Peter's daddy. Groot returns as a baby Groot, after sacrificing himself in the first film. Groot's childlike innocence and endearing antics contribute comedic relief and a heartwarming dynamic within the team. His presence underscores the theme of nurturing as the Guardians collectively care for him and guide him, showcasing that fatherhood can take unexpected forms. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 strikes a balance between humor, heart, and spectacle. The film's irreverent humor remains a hallmark of the franchise, providing a laugh-out-loud moments amid emotional arcs. Visually, the movie is a feast for the eyes, with amazing space battles and creative alien landscapes. However, the film's pacing occasionally falters due to the multitude of character-driven subplots. While these moments deepen character development, they may slow down the overall momentum of the plot. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is a vibrant and emotionally charged addition to the MCU. James Gunn always finds a way to make us cry. Its exploration of family dynamics, coupled with stunning visuals and memorable soundtrack, cements its status as a standout sequel. The film's box office success and introduction of new cosmic elements ensure its lasting impact on the ever-expanding Marvel universe. Whether you're a fan of space opera, character-driven storytelling, or just good old-fashioned fun, this film delivers on all fronts.
So, to become an Avenger, are there like trials or an interview?
Just don't do anything I would do. And definitely don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man Homecoming, released in 2017, is a refreshing take on the iconic web-slinger. Tom Holland takes on the role of Peter Parker in this coming-of-age superhero tale set in the MCU. It's yet another movie that was spinned off out of Captain America: Civil War. Now, let's get to know Peter Parker. Spider-Man Homecoming follows the teenager Peter Parker as he navigates the challenges of being a high school student and a friendly neighborhood superhero. Peter eagerly awaits his next mission after the events of Captain America: Civil War, where he fought alongside Team Iron Man. However, he finds himself stuck dealing with small-scale crime while longing for the excitement of being an Avenger. Everyone needs a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. The main antagonist, Adrian Toomes, the Vulture, played by Michael Keaton, emerges as a salvage worker turned arms dealer. He utilizes alien technology left over from previous MCU battles to create advanced weaponry. This puts him on a collision course with Spider-Man when their paths cross. Throughout the film, Peter grapples with the responsibilities of being Spider-Man, maintaining his secret identity and balancing his normal teenage life with the help of his friend and soon to be the man in the chair, Ned, and guidance from his mentor, his hero, his shadow, Tony Stark. Peter learns what it truly means to be a hero. Spider-Man Homecoming swung its way to considerable success at the box office, grossing over $880 million worldwide. This achievement was not only a testament to Spider-Man's enduring popularity, but also the film's ability to rejuvenate the character for a new generation of fans. The film's integration into the MCU breathed new life into the Spider-Man's cinematic portrayal. By situating Spider-Man within the larger MCU framework, Homecoming expanded the storytelling possibilities and allowed for exciting crossovers with other beloved characters. The inclusion of Tony Stark also provided a connective tissue between Spider-Man's world and the broader Avengers narrative. The relationship between Tony Stark and Peter Parker in the MCU evolves from mentorship to a fatherly bond. Tony sees a potential in Peter's heroism and takes on a guiding role, providing him with advanced technology and advice. Their dynamic is a delicate balance between Peter's desire for independence and Tony's protective instincts. If you're nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't wear it. Michael Keaton was great as the Vulture, vicious, calculated, and driven. But we also get to see his softer side in a major twist, soon to be discussed. Ultimately, the Vulture did not make an impact on the MCU. He was a one-off villain that eventually got shipped to the Sony Spider-Verse. You know, that universe that would include anybody from the Spider-Man universe, with the exception of an actual Spider-Man. So let's wish the Vulture all the best in his future endeavors alongside Morbius and Kraven. Spider-Man Homecoming successfully captured the essence of Peter Parker as a relatable teenager, grappling with the complexities of adolescence while juggling the demands of heroism. Tom Holland's portrayal received praise for its authenticity and youthful energy, setting a new standard for the character. The film's focus on Peter's growth and his interactions with the supporting cast, including his best friend Ned and Peter's sweetheart Liz. And all of that added depth to the story. The decision to steer away from Spider-Man's origin story, which had been previously depicted on screen, allowed the film to explore fresh narrative territory. Spider-Man Homecoming is a dynamic blend of superhero action, teenage drama, and humor. The film strikes a balance between heartwarming moments and thrilling superhero sequences. Michael Keaton's portrayal of Vulture provides a compelling and nuanced antagonist, adding layers to the conflict. And that was really a great twist, as the traffic light changed from red to green, when we learned that the Vulture is actually Peter's crush interest, Liz's father. Oh man, that was tense. The decision to make the film's tone lighter and more youthful than previous iteration of Spider-Man was a wise move. It aligns with the character's history in the comics and distinguishes this version from its predecessors. With great power, there must also come great responsibility.
Spider-Man Homecoming successfully webbed its way into the hearts of audiences, offering a fresh perspective on the iconic superhero. With its engaging plot, memorable characters, and integration into the MCU, the film not only revitalized the Spider-Man franchise, but also contributed to the larger narrative of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Homecoming stands as a testament to Spider-Man's enduring appeal and his ability to evolve with the times.
Go ahead. Stay here and enslave people for that lunatic. Keep drinking, keep hiding. But me, I choose to run toward my problems and not away from them.
Thor Ragnarok, released in 2017, is the 17th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the third standalone movie featuring the Norse god of thunder, Thor. Directed by Taika Waititi, this film took a bold new direction, infusing the franchise with humor, vibrant visuals, and significant character development. This was Thor 3, but in many ways, this was Thor the beginning. The beginning of a new character. A new character that tells jokes. A lot. Was it good? Was it bad? Let's find out. Thor Ragnarok storms in with Thor dangling like the universe's worst dressed chandelier. He's chit-chatting with Surtur, a flaming demon who spills the beans about Asgard's impending barbecue party known as Ragnarok. And thus, our journey begins. Back home on Asgard, Thor finds Loki playing King, playing Odin, with the reloading nowhere in sight. Doctor Strange drops in, because when you've lost your dad, a portal-making wizard is just what you need. Odin is found, reunites with his sons, and fades away. And who might that be? Hela enters as the older sister with a serious chip on her shoulder, vying to rule Asgard and to take hold of the 9 realms. Thor and Loki gave it a shot, but instead they were sent packing to Sakaar, a planet where all space garbage lands. Thor is taken prisoner by the Grand Master, who can melt your hearts, literally. Thor gets a gladiator makeover, poised to fight the Grandmaster's champion. And who's his rival in the ring? None other than the Incredible Hulk, ready to smash anything or anyone in his path. Luckily, he's a friend from work. Back on Asgard, Hela's giving the place a makeover with a touch of apocalyptic design. She's got Scourge as a reluctant sidekick, more confused than cunning. Thor must escape Sakaar, return to Asgard, and prevent the prophesized Ragnarok, the destruction of his home world, at the hands of Hela, the goddess of death, and his long-lost sister. With the help of the newly formed Revengers, a team composed of Loki, Valkyrie, and the Hulk. And also, let's take advantage and introduce the unofficial members, and give a special shout out to Meek and Korg as brand new additions to the Thor crew. Valkyrie, played by Tessa Thompson, is a former Asgardian warrior turned Sakaar scavenger. Once a proud member of the elite Valkyrie squad, she suffered a devastating loss during a battle against Hela, the goddess of death. What a coincidence, right? That led her to a life of self-imposed exile and copious amounts of alcohol. As Thor Ragnarok unfolds, her reluctant return to heroism becomes a major thread in this cosmic chaos. Thor Ragnarok was a massive success at the box office, grossing over $854 million worldwide. Its unique blend of humor, action, and visual spectacle resonated with audiences, making it the highest grossing film in the Thor trilogy. The film's success showcased the MCU's ability to evolve and take creative risks while maintaining its connection to the larger universe. One of the most significant impacts of Thor Ragnarok on the MCU was its tonal shift. Director Taika Waititi infused the films with his signature irreverent humor and colorful style, setting a new direction for the Thor character. This change in tone would influence subsequent MCU films, making humor and character dynamics more central to the storytelling. I think this was on the verge of having too much humor, but just on the verge. In Thor Ragnarok, the god of thunder is confronted not only by external threats, but also by a series of personal losses that test his resilience and redefine his identity. Stripped of his mighty hammer Mjolnir, Thor faces the loss of a symbol that once defined his worthiness and power. Moreover, he is forced to confront the reality of his homeworld, Asgard, being on the brink of destruction. The weight of leadership and the responsibility for his people's survival fall heavily upon him. The loss of his father, Odin, and the revelation of his hidden sister, Hela, who embodies death and destruction, shatters the foundation of his understanding of his family's legacy. These losses drive Thor to question his own purpose and abilities, eventually leading him to discover that true strength comes from within, transcending the physical and material aspects that once defined him. In the end, Thor learns to let go and realizes that the only way to stop Hela, apparently, is to cause Ragnarok rather than stopping it. Loki unleashes Surtur and thus completing the prophecy. Chris Hemsworth's comedic timing shines as Thor, and his interactions with characters like the Hulk and Valkyrie add depth and fun to the story. Thor Ragnarok intricately explored the shifting dynamics between Thor and Loki. While their sibling rivalry persists, hints of a genuine camaraderie surfaces as they reluctantly team up to confront Hela. Their banter reflects a shared history, and a pivotal conversation exposes their underlying vulnerabilities. The climax sees them united, initiating Ragnarok to save Asgard, signifying a nuanced evolution from adversaries to allies. Thor Ragnarok rejuvenated the Thor franchise with its humor, vibrant visuals, and character growth. I have to be honest, this is the retroactive MCU review after all. This movie represented a great risk that paid off. However, in the follow-up, Thor, Love and Thunder, they took it too far. The film's impact on the MCU's tone and storytelling approach is undeniable. Its success at the box office reaffirmed the audience's appetite for a fresh take on established characters. With its unique blend of action and comedy, Thor Ragnarok stands as a testament to the MCU's ability to evolve while maintaining its core identity. Well, I guess there's only one thing left for Thor to do. Go back to Earth. Hey, by Odin's beard, what is that?
I am King of Wakanda.
Black Panther, directed by the great Ryan Coogler, released in 2018, is a groundbreaking film within the MCU. Yet another direct continuation after the events of Captain America: Civil War and the aftermath of the loss of King T'Chaka, T'Challa's father. Black Panther brought cultural and historical significance to the forefront. Black Panther follows T'Challa, the newly crowned king of the fictional African nation of Wakanda. T'Challa also holds the mantle of the Black Panther, a superhero with enhanced abilities. As he grapples with the responsibilities of leading his nation and protecting its advanced vibranium technology, T'Challa must confront Eric Killmonger, a challenger to the throne, who seeks to use Wakanda's resources to empower oppressed people worldwide. Ulysses Klaue is back as the classic Black Panther antagonist, representing the greed-driven desire to exploit valuable resources, and highlights the challenges that arise when advanced technology and traditional values collide. However, as fate would have it, Klaue ended up being played by Killmonger, to eventually find his demise out of the movie and out of the MCU, possibly. As this wasn't about him. It was about Eric Killmonger's journey to the throne, driven by a desire to use Wakanda technology to liberate oppressed communities worldwide. His motivation stemmed from a deep-seated connection to his Wakandan heritage, seeking to reclaim his rightful place as the prince and challenge Wakanda's isolationist policies, ultimately creating a complex and empathetic character grappling with the legacy of historical injustices. The film navigates themes of identity, heritage, and global responsibility. It showcases Wakanda's unique blend of tradition and technology, all while exploring the moral complexities of wielding power. Black Panther stands as a cinematic milestone due to its cultural and historical significance. The film's predominantly black cast, helmed by director Ryan Coogler, presenting an authentic portrayal of African culture and representation. The fictional nation of Wakanda celebrated Africa's rich heritage while challenging stereotypes that had often plagued mainstream media. Moreover, Black Panther confronted issues of race, colonization, and identity head-on. Black Panther became a global phenomenon, surpassing even the loftiest expectations. At the box office, the film earned over $1.3 billion worldwide, making it one of the highest grossing movies of all time. Its domestic performance was equally remarkable, with its cultural impact and resonating far beyond the screen. Black Panther also introduces us to a host of additional characters that enrich its narrative. T'Challa's sister, Shuri, embodies Wakanda's technological brilliance and vibrant youth, offering a mix of humor and innovation. Okoye, the leader of the Dora Milaje, Wakanda's all-female warrior force, embodies loyalty and duty, torn between her loyalty to the throne and her personal convictions. Nakia, T'Challa's former lover and a war dog spy, symbolizes empathy and a broader global perspective, advocating for Wakanda's active involvement in the world's affairs. And the mighty M'Baku, who represented the old ways, learns to evolve, learns to respect and accept T'Challa as the king of Wakanda. Together, these characters form a dynamic ensemble that showcases diverse viewpoints, each contributing to the film's exploration of identity, tradition, and the responsibility of power. And last but not least, Mama Panther herself, Queen Ramonda of Wakanda, providing emotional support and guidance to T'Challa as he navigates his responsibilities as both king and Black Panther. In Black Panther, T'Challa learns several vital lessons. T'Challa's journey in Black Panther is one of growth, self-discovery, and transformation. He evolves from a cautious and a tradition-bound leader into a more open-minded and empathetic king who embraces change, challenges the status quo, and seeks to use his power for positive change in the world. Tragically, the passing of Chadwick Boseman, who portrayed T'Challa, added a layer of sombrance to the film's legacy. His embodiment of the titular character left an indelible mark on both the MCU and popular culture. The ending of Black Panther not only wraps up its immediate storyline, but also embodies the themes of identity, responsibility, and global impact. It provides closure, while inviting audiences to contemplate the broader implication of the story, both within the context of the movie and the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe. As we are in the MCU, we had to finish with a big CGI fest where Black Panther faced Black Panther in the final battle scene, felt overly reliant on computer-generated effects, making it difficult to fully immerse in the action and connect with the characters. The excessive use of CGI detracted from the film's otherwise strong storytelling and visual aesthetics. Black Panther is a cinematic triumph, heralded not only by its dazzling action sequences and compelling characters, but also for its representation and its ability to inspire a global movement. The film's box office success and its role in reshaping conversation about diversity, making it a landmark in a world of cinema, reminding us of the transformative potential of storytelling. Thank you, Chadwick. It's primer time! Primer! Countdown to Infinity War. We've climbed so high up on phase 3, Infinity War movie review is up next. But before we get there, first, let's take a moment to organize our thoughts. Sit down, take a look on the whereabouts of all of our heroes, and more so, as this is the Infinity War primer, we'll cover the location of each Infinity Stone known to us so far. Sounds like fun, right? Strap in because this is going to be epic. Let's begin. Our journey begins with the Space Stone, also known as the Tesseract. It's housed in Asgard, but as of Thor Ragnarok, Asgard has been destroyed. Loki managed to steal it before the destruction. So currently, it's somewhere out in space! And it's time for deliverance on board of the Asgardian ship making its way to Earth. The Reality Stone, or Ether, is stored with the Collector on Nowhere. This is where we saw it in Thor: The Dark World, so it must be safe, right? The Power Stone, contained within the orb, is secured by the Novacorp on Xandar, after the events of the first Guardians of the Galaxy. This is what happens when you lose a dance-off, bro. Next is the Mind Stone, previously the gem within Loki's scepter, and now it is embedded in Vision's forehead. It's a key part of him and currently located at Avengers headquarters, or wherever Vision may roam. The Time Stone, housed in the Eye of Agamotto, and is the actual Eye of Agamotto, is safely guarded by Doctor Strange. Last but not least, the elusive Soul Stone. Its location was a mystery until Avengers Infinity War, so we won't spoil that there. Just be prepared for a revelation. It's Heroes Time. Iron Man. Following the events of Civil War and Spider-Man Homecoming, well, he's just chilling and prepping in New York, thinking about getting married. Thor, Loki, and the Hulk, Valkyrie, Miek and Korg, and a bunch of Asgardians, sailing away through space till they encounter a huge ominous spaceship, which I'm sure is filled with good intentions. Our fugitive Avengers, Secret Avengers, which we never got to explore, Captain America, Falcon, Wanda, Black Widow, all out there. They went off the grid after the events of Civil War. Black Panther, Wakanda, where else? Living with the rest of his trusted Black Panther crew and the Winter Soldier. He's been resting in Wakanda as the White Wolf for a while. War Machine, healing up after the injury sustained during Civil War. That was a nasty fall. The Guardians of the Galaxy. They're in space, doing Guardians of the Galaxy things, strengthening their bond as a unit and as a family. Nebula. At the end of Guardians 2, she swore to find and destroy Thanos on her own. Will she make it? Ant-Man. I hope Scott likes leg bracelets, because he's under house arrest. Once again follow the events of, you know what, Civil War. And Hawkeye. Yeah, we love Hawkeye. He's just chilling with the fam, shooting some arrows and eating some hot dogs. With mustard, obviously. Doctor Strange. Don't forget, he's here to protect our reality, douchebag. Zigzagging from the New York Sanctum to Kamartaj, with Wong by his side. And last but not least, our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, looking out for the little guy across the streets of New York City. There you have it, folks. Are you all caught up? Good. So this primer is concluded.
When I'm done, half of humanity will still be alive.
We stand at the precipice of despair, pondering the catastrophic events that led to the snap. As we unravel the epic tale of Avengers, Infinity War, we're left to wonder, how did it come to this? Let us embark on a journey, not of heroes, but of flaws and incredible determination. Hi everybody, and welcome back to the Retroactive MCU Review. I am your unsnappable, dusty host, Mr. Boring. Thanos' quest was a simple one. Restore balance to the universe by erasing half of all life. The infamous snap. With a mere snap of his fingers, Thanos, the Mad Titan, unleashed devastation on a cosmic scale. Billions of lives blinked out of existence, leaving our heroes and humanity at large in a state of unimaginable agony. The enormity of this moment cannot be understated. It's a reckoning that leaves us breathless. The Avengers posed a formidable challenge. United, they should have stand, but divided they were, and divided they fell. Torn apart by ego and ideology, allowing Thanos to exploit their weaknesses, their relentless pursuit of personal agendas, all played their part in fracturing the Avengers' unity, which ultimately led to their downfall. But how did it come to this? This is the story of will. This is the story of determination. This is the story of Thanos. Avengers Infinity War, released in 2018, is a monumental entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Directed by the Russo brothers, it is a cinematic event that brings together a vast array of superheroes to face their most menacing adversary yet, Thanos. Thanos warned us. Fine, I'll do it myself, he said. No longer relying on other beings to carry out his plan and collect the stones. Thanos takes action and goes on a journey to fulfill his quest, to fulfill his destiny. Throughout his quest, Thanos demonstrates an unwavering commitment to his twisted sense of balance and order. He believes that wiping out half of all life in the universe is a necessary and merciful act, making his pursuit of the stone all the more chilling. Thanos' single-minded determination and devastating consequences of his actions make him one of the most memorable and complex villains in cinematic history. Let the quest begin. The Power Stone. The film opens with Thanos already in possession of the Power Stone. Thanos said he had decimated Xandar to obtain it, showcasing his incredible power and brutality. So hey movie, here's a request. Show, don't tell, please. The Space Stone. Thanos and his henchmen, the Black Order, attack the refugee Asgardian ship after the events of Thor Ragnarok to retrieve the Tesseract, which houses the Space Stone. Thor gets his ass kicked, Hulk gets his ass kicked, and oh snap, Loki has the Tesseract. Loki tried to Loki Thanos, but to no avail. Loki dies. Thanos retrieves the Tesseract and extracts the Space Stone. Heimdall sends Hulk to Earth to give Doctor Strange a fair warning. Thanos is coming. Thanos is coming! The Reality Stone, stored safely with the Collector on Nowhere. Or is it? The Guardians arrived late. Thanos had already taken the Reality Stone. the Guardians' plan fail. Gamora should have gone right. Peter gets some bubbles and Gamora is abducted by Thanos onto Vormir to find the Soul Stone, guarded by the enigmatic Red Skull. What a shocker! A really nice tie-in to Captain America, the first Avenger. To obtain the Soul Stone, Thanos must make a gut-wrenching sacrifice. A soul for a soul. Lose that which he loves. Throwing his beloved daughter, Gamora, off a cliff to her death. Soul Stone retrieved. The Time Stone. Doctor Strange has the Time Stone in the Eye of Agamotto, and he's very protective of it. After Strange saw 14,605 possibilities of possible outcomes to the conflict, he knew that they were in the end game now, and there was only one way the Avengers would eventually prevail. Tony, it was the only way. Thanos needed to win. Strange surrenders the Time Stone in exchange for mercy on Tony Stark's life. The Mind Stone is embedded in Vision's forehead. After an attempt to yank it out of his forehead by the Black Order, the climax reaches Wakanda as the battle ensues to protect Vision while Shuri attempts to safely remove the stone. Ultimately, Wanda makes the ultimate sacrifice and destroys Vision and the Mind Stone embedded in him. But Thanos arrives and uses the Time Stone cheat, turn that sumbitch sideways, and forcibly take the stone from Vision, killing him again in front of the distraught Wanda, and thus completing the Infinity Gauntlet. The Avengers were caught unprepared, split into teams, always one step behind, as Thanos enacted his plan. Team Space. Tony Stark and Doctor Strange initially team up along with Wong and Banner, and a late addition by Spider-Man to confront the Ebony Maw and Call Obsidian in New York, who are after the Time Stone. Doctor Strange and Iron Man alongside Spider-Man. This group heads to Titan. They're in space. What? To confront Thanos directly, after disposing of the Ebony Maw, alien style. On Titan, they encounter the Guardians of the Galaxy. After losing the Reality Stone on Nowhere, the group was going to Titan because Nebula said so. Team Wakanda. Captain America, Black Widow, Falcon, Vision, War Machine, Wanda, Banner, all come to Wakanda. Captain America and his team are joined by Black Panther and the Winter Soldier, Bucky, and the Wakandan forces. They are tasked with protecting Vision, who possesses the Mind Stone, while Shuri works to remove it safely. Team Thor. After being rescued by the Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor realizes he needs a new weapon. A Thanos-killing kind of a weapon. With Rocket and Groot's help, they travel to Nidavellir to forge a new weapon, Stormbreaker, which he believes can defeat Thanos. These mini-teams highlight the complexity of the film's narrative and showcase how the MCU's heroes come together in different ways and locations to combat the formidable threat posed by Thanos and his quest for the Infinity Stones. But also, it leaves you wondering, what would have happened if they all had been united? Avengers Infinity War brilliantly capitalized on the excitement of seeing different MCU characters meet and interact for the first time. It was so cool to see the different groupings. These interactions contributed significantly to the film's monumental success and continue to be a highlight in the MCU's evolution. While the heroes on Titan were close to successfully removing the Infinity Gauntlet from Thanos' hand, they had Thanos subdued and down for the count. However, at a pivotal moment, Peter Quill, learned that Thanos had sacrificed Gamora, his beloved, in order to obtain the Soul Stone. Overwhelmed by grief and anger, Quill lost his composure and began to attack Thanos, striking him in the face repeatedly. This emotional outburst allowed Thanos to regain his strength and thwart their attempt to take the gauntlet. Peter screwed up. Big time. Did we just lose? Yes, Peter, you did just lose. The Battle of Wakanda. The battle begins with the Black Order launching an assault on the force field protecting Wakanda. The Avengers and Wakandan forces prepare for the impending onslaught. The heroes' primary objective is to keep Vision safe and prevent Thanos from acquiring the Mind Stone in a glorious, large-scale war. Captain America and Black Panther leading the charge against the Black Order and the Outriders, otherworldly creatures. Black Widow whipping some alien behind. Banner, well, he was trying to do his best, unable to transform into the Hulk. They've got issues. Scarlet Witch, showing why she's the baddest bitch on the battlefield. Thor's dramatic entrance, conjuring lightning with Stormbreaker. "Bring me Thanos," he said. One of the best entrances ever. This is the ultimate version of Thor. The battle reaches its climax when Thanos, having acquired 5 of the Infinity Stones, arrives in Wakanda. He easily overpowers the heroes, and despite a valiant effort by Wanda, he successfully completes the Infinity Gauntlet. In a heart-wrenching moment, he snaps his fingers, causing half of all life in the universe, including several of our beloved heroes, to disintegrate into dust. Thor should have gone for the head. The shock and silence after the snap, where we, the audience, realize all bets are off. Our Avengers got dusted. Oh no, Bucky, not T'Challa. Sam, where you at? The Guardians, no! Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. Even Spider-Man, boom, dusted! How do we come back from this? In some ways, I don't think the MCU has yet to fully bounce back from that moment. The Russo brothers are masters of their domain. Avengers Infinity War was an unparalleled box office juggernaut, grossing over $2.04 billion worldwide. It became one of the highest grossing films of all time, a testament to the immense popularity of the MCU and the anticipation built over a decade of interconnected storytelling. Its success solidified the MCU's dominance in the global film market. Avengers Infinity War is a remarkable achievement in cinematic storytelling. It juggles an extensive ensemble cast, multiple plot threads, and high-stakes action sequences with impressive finesse. The film masterfully blends humor, heart, and genuine emotional weight, making it a truly epic cinematic experience. The portrayal of Thanos as a complex and morally driven antagonist sets a new standard for superhero movie villains. The visual effects are outstanding, creating breathtaking cosmic landscapes and battles. Thanos believes that his actions, no matter how ruthless, are intended to bring balance to the universe. And now he can finally rest and watch the sunrise on a grateful universe. Always count on Nick Fury to have a plan. Witnessing the chaos as cars crash and people vanish, As Maria Hill disintegrates, Nick Fury quickly realizes the dire situation. He rushes to an advanced pager-like device and sends out a distress signal just before he, too, disintegrates into dust. Now who could that be? Avengers Infinity War is more than just a superhero movie. It's an event. It's a cultural phenomenon that redefined what was possible in the genre. Its griping narrative, iconic characters, and jaw-dropping visuals make it a landmark film in the MCU and in cinematic history. With its box office success and lasting impact on the MCU, Infinity War will be remembered as a monumental moment where the heroes lost, but we won.
You go low, I'll go high.
I have wings.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is the 20th installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Released in 2018, directed yet again by Peyton Reed. Set after the events of Captain America Civil War, Scott Lang is under house arrest for his actions in Germany. Yep, another direct continuation for Civil War. Will this ever end? He is estranged from Hank Pym and Hope Van Dyne due to Scott using and exposing Pym particles to the world during the now infamous airport scaffold during Civil War. However, a new threat emerges in the form of the quantumly unstable Ghost, who can phase through solid matter. Hank and Hope, along with Scott, must work together to rescue Janet Van Dyne, the original Wasp, from the quantum realm and stop Ghost's uncontrollable powers. The film attempts to combine clever humor with intertwined action sequences and showcases the shrinking and growing technology in creative ways. And yet again, it falls short of its true potential, making it both a mediocre superhero action film and a not-so-mediocre comedy. Ant-Man and the Wasp was a commercial success. Maybe. It grossed over $622 million worldwide. A significant improvement over the first Ant-Man movie. While not on par with the massive box office successes of films like The Avengers, Infinity War, Captain Marvel, Black Panther, it showed that even a lesser known Marvel character could draw substantial audiences. However, not to the extent that the MCU grew accustomed to. Ultimately, this was not considered a success. In spite of the film's overall quality, it had some key moments worth highlighting. Notably, the film addresses the idea of the quantum realm, which becomes crucial in Avengers Endgame. Moreover, the mid-credit scene, the Van Dynes turn to dust due to the snap of the almighty Thanos, and Scott remains stuck in the quantum realm. The film also firmly establishes Hope Van Dyne as the Wasp, a strong, confident woman, what else, and capable superhero, setting the stage for her continued involvement in the MCU films. The introduction of Ghost, which really hasn't been that significant till the announcement of the Thunderbolts movie, which she will apparently be taking part in reprising her ghosty role. Ant-Man and the Wasp doesn't take itself too seriously. Me neither. Offering a light-hearted humorous take on the superhero genre. This movie is the proverbial pea-break between Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. While it's not as grand or impactful or interesting as some of the other MCU films, it explores its characters, their dynamics, and the possibilities of the quantum realm, which is ever growing in significance, and also leaves us with that feeling of, oh yeah, people got snapped. The plot itself was quite meh. Not much to touch on there. Not much at all. With the other villains and plot lines in a time before Endgame offered very little consequence or meaning. It was all about the quantum realm and positioning Scott Lang and the Van Dynes out of sight during Infinity War. What will happen next? Ant-Man and the Wasp is a fun and entertaining addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which does not require introspective thinking. While it may not be the most monumental Marvel movie, to say the least, it contributes to the overall depth and interconnectivity of the MCU and offers a delightful and underwhelming adventure. And again, in case you haven't noticed, it's probably my least favorite movie in the MCU.
I'm not gonna fight your war. I'm gonna end it.
And then they disappeared. And a beeper went off. Is it their savior? Is it their backup? Is it their last hope? After all, she's been here all along, apparently. Let the MCU retconning begin. Captain Marvel burst onto the scene in 2019 as one of the latest additions to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, starring Brie Larson as Carol Danvers, a former US Air Force pilot turned intergalactic superhero. We can safely say that Carol Danvers put the super in superhero. So OP. Captain Marvel, set in the 1990s and follows the journey of Carol Danvers, a Kree warrior with no memory of her past on Earth, even though she looks really human. The Kree are locked in a battle with the shape-shifting Skrulls, and Carol finds herself on Earth as part of this conflict. During her time on Earth, she uncovers her past as a human named Carol Danvers and joins forces with a young and promising Nick Fury and an even younger Phil Coulson. Love seeing Coulson at any capacity. Together, they are joined forces to thwart the Skrulls' plan. The film explores Carol's journey to self-discovery, removing any physical or psychological limitations, helping her realize the extent of her powers and her role in the Kree-Skrull conflict. Ultimately, she becomes Captain Marvel, a powerful superhero capable of interstellar feats. She's powerful, if not the most powerful. Captain Marvel received mixed reviews from both audiences and critics, which is a departure from many MCU films that are often universally praised. Here are some of the main points of criticism. Brie Larson's performance. One of the most significant criticism focused on Brie Larson's portrayal of Carol Danvers. Some viewers found her performance to be lacking in emotional depth and charisma. They argued that her character didn't have the same level of charm and complexity as other MCU leads like Tony Stark or Steve Rogers. Pacing and structure. The film's pacing was uneven, especially in the first act. The non-linear storytelling and flashbacks made it hard for some viewers to engage with the narratives, like yours truly. The movie structure made it challenging to connect with the character and her journey. The film's villains, the Skrulls and the Kree, were seen as somewhat underdeveloped. This resulted in a lack of a compelling antagonist, which is a common issue in superhero movies. Before the film's release, Brie Larson commented on the lack of diversity in film. That criticism and her push for greater inclusivity sparked controversy. Some fans found her political stance divisive and felt it overshadowed the movie itself. The MCU retconning. This was the beginning. Captain Marvel introduced a significant retcon to the MCU by changing the origin of Nick Fury's eye injury. all of a sudden she's been there all along. The Tesseract and that accuser guy Ronan make a special guest appearance. Because why not? We see how Fury came up with the Avengers initiative and why it was named like this. Going back and adding pieces in the far past so they can perfectly or not so perfectly fit into our present seems like pushing it too far and hampers the MCU's continuity as a whole. The Tesseract, an immense powerful cosmic artifact, is sought after by Ronan the Accuser, a Kree zealot who plans to use its destructive potential to further his radical agendas. Where have we seen that before? Carol Danvers, initially a member of the Kree Star Force, possesses tremendous power due to an accident that happened while she was piloting an aircraft. Crashes after an encounter with an energy core, the Tesseract. The explosion of the energy core causes the fusion of her human DNA with Kree DNA, granting her superhuman strength, speed, endurance, and the ability to fire photon energy blasts from her hands. She is a walking, talking bomb, literally. The Kree suppressed her true potential, convincing her she was solely a Kree warrior known as Veers. Her powers were restrained using an inhibitor device on her neck, preventing her from realizing her full abilities. Upon discovering her true identity and breaking free from the Kree control, she unleashes her full potential and confronts Ronan, ultimately eliminating his force and his destructive plans and becoming the powerful hero, the most powerful hero, known as Captain Marvel. Despite the criticisms, Captain Marvel was a commercial success and an important step forward. Captain Marvel grossed over $1.128 billion worldwide, making it one of the highest grossing films in the MCU. It featured a female superhero in the lead role and marked a significant move towards more diverse representation within the Marvel Universe. Additionally, the film played a crucial role in the bridging narrative gaps between other MCU movies, using the mighty superpower of retcon. Brie Larson's bland, emotionless performance may not have resonated with everyone. The film's exploration of Carol Danvers' journey of self-discovery and her growing into her powers is an essential aspect of her character's development. Shame we couldn't see any likable personality traits. Captain Marvel is a complex film, as it was tasked with not only introducing a character, but also with addressing several interconnected plot points within the MCU, some of which were forced upon us. While it received criticism in various areas, it remains a significant moment in the franchise's history. As the MCU continues to expand, Captain Marvel and Carol Danvers are poised to play an essential role in the evolving narrative. And so, Carol leaves Earth because of plot, the plot. And more than 20 years later, that beeper sounds. Carol shows up back on Earth with just one question on her mind. Where's Fury? So, is Carol Danvers Captain Marvel, the savior of the MCU? Well, not really.
This is the fight of our lives. And we're gonna win. Whatever it takes.
This is the end of the road. This is the end of the line. This is the end of your life. This is Avengers Endgame. Thanos had his rules of conduct. The Avengers have theirs. Avengers Endgame, the epic finale of the Infinity Saga. Over a decade of storytelling in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, This is a film event that defies expectations and delivers an emotional and cinematic experience unlike any other. Directed by the Russo brothers, Anthony and Joe, this movie isn't just another superhero film. It's a profound and introspective journey that pays homage to the past while setting the stage for the future of the MCU. The film picks up after the events of Avengers: Infinity War, where Thanos has wiped out half of all life in the universe. The remaining Avengers are left broken and defeated, grappling with their own failures and losses. This sets the stage for a narrative that goes beyond the typical superhero fare. Endgame is a meditation on loss, sacrifice, and the resilience of the human spirit. It explores the consequences of the hero's actions and the toll it takes on their personal lives. Tony Stark somehow gets rescued from being stranded in space by Captain Marvel, which seemed way too easy to pull. But hey, we get Tony back on Earth, finally reuniting with Steve Rogers. The Avengers brainstorm. The Avengers argue. And then the Avengers decide, let's go get that son of a bitch! So this time, Thor went for the head, over an already beaten and injured Thanos. No luck. No more stones. The Avengers' failure was assured. The snap could not be undone. 5 years later, a desolate, broken world is greeted by an unexpected hero. A rat! Click, click, bang, bang, and Scott Lang is miraculously rescued from the quantum realm. And what if time works differently in the quantum realm? What if the Avengers can go back and change their fate? It's do-over time for Earth's mightiest heroes. The Avengers will conduct their own quest for the Infinity Stones, and this time through time traveling via the quantum realm to specific points in the past, specific points in their past, where they will attempt to retrieve the stones and in the process retrieve a piece of their own soul. Everything has a price, and the Avengers would find that out soon enough. As a wise man once said, when you mess with time, time tends to mess with you back. 3 teams, 6 stones, let the quest begin. Team New York. Ant-Man, Cap, Hulk, and Tony reached New York in 2012 in the middle of the Chitauri fight from the first Avengers. Hulk pays a visit to the Sorcerer Supreme to get the Time Stone, not without its challenges, intellectual duels, and an Infinity Stone slideshow. Time Stone retrieved. The Mind Stone, placed into safeguards by agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after the Battle of New York. But wait a minute, those are Hydra agents, reprising their role from the Winter Soldier. We get a callback to the epic elevator scene, which shows how Cap grew and learned to use his wit more than his might. Hail Hydra, indeed. Cap v Cap was a cool duel on the screen, with the old Captain America's Achilles heel. Bucky is alive! Mind Stone retrieved. Iron Man and Ant-Man were in charge of obtaining the Tesseract, the Space Stone, which would mean taking it off the 2012 Avengers after their hard-won fight. We got more Winter Soldier callbacks with Alexander Pierce. Hulk took the stairs. Hulk doesn't like the stairs. That was a big mistake. The Tesseract lands in Loki's lap, and Loki peaced out to star in his own Disney Plus show. Space Stone not retrieved yet. Team Asgard. Thor and Rocket Raccoon embark on a mission to retrieve the Reality Stone from Asgard in the year 2013, during the events of Thor: The Dark World. Thor reunites with his mother and gets some much needed comfort and advice, while Rocket flies solo, eventually retrieves the ether from Jane Foster. It was a touching moment for Thor and his mother, giving him a glimpse of hope and security. And on the way, Thor proves himself that he is still worthy and yanks the once whole Mjolnir back with him. Reality Stone retrieved. Team Space, Morag, Vormir. Nebula, War Machine, Black Widow and Hawkeye, or is it Ronin? I'm so confused. Make their way to space with a mini spaceship in their pocket. How convenient. And there they split. Rhodey and Nebula go after the Power Stone. A nice callback to the beginning of the first Guardians of the Galaxy in 2014. Quill looks like a moron, as always. Get punched in the face. Nebula and Rhodey have a moment while they take the Power Stone using the tools of a thief. But oh no, Nebula has a communication breakdown! Network malfunctions as she's intertwining with the 2014 back in the day evil Nebula. Power Stone retrieved. Nebula compromised. Meanwhile on Vormir, Hawkeye and Nat get to experience firsthand the wonders of the Red Skull's Goth and the undeniable truth about the Soul Stone. You must lose that which you love. A soul for a soul. Let the fight begin. Hawkeye and Nat battle it out in one of the most emotionally challenging moments in the movie, for the right to sacrifice themselves for the team and fulfill their fate. Black Widow won. Black Widow jumped to her demise as all she had was this family, and she was willing to sacrifice everything, whatever it takes, to save it. Clint is distraught. Natasha is dead. I am in tears. Soul Stone retrieved. Back to New York. Tony and Steve decide to take a detour to the 1970s to Cap's old stomping ground, Camp Lehigh, with some sense of ingenuity, and because Tony knows what he knows, it was then the location of the Tesseract, along with the presence of one Dr. Hank Pym. Tony and Steve go through their emotional arcs. Tony gets to reconnect with his father one last time, and realizing his father loved him after all. Steve got a glimpse of Peggy Carter. All he ever wanted was to have that one dance with her, which may have been the moment where Steve decided what he would do once this all ends. Both arcs tie nicely to the actual personality and maturation of each character, and giving them a sense of closure and understanding of who they are and where do they come from. Space Stone finally retrieved. All the Avengers make their way back. All but one. It's an emotional scene when the 5 original Avengers mourn the loss of Natasha. They were the only family she ever knew. They have to make this work. They have to. The Avengers work on creating a new Infinity Gauntlet to harness the power of the stones. The task of wielding the gauntlet becomes central to the film's climax. There are many volunteers, but turns out the stones emit mostly gamma radiation. It's like the Hulk was meant to do this. The Hulk puts the iron gauntlet on. Ouch! That hurts. Come on, Hulk! Hulk, you got this! And while the Avengers' back is turned, our 2014 infiltrated Nebula, the evil Nebula, works her IT skills. She inserts her Nebula code into the quantum tunnel in a timeless ploy. Get it? Timeless? She brings Thanos and all of his might and armies, and I do mean all of them, to our Avengers time. The Hulk activates his green willpower and manages to snap his fingers. The Hulk falls to the ground. The Hulk opens his eyes, only to see, up in the sky, Thanos' space battleship launching an attack and demolishing the Avengers compound. There's no way the Avengers survive that. Oh wait, they all survived. The movie continues. Final showdown. Third act time. Break out the CGI. The fight to end all fights. Our holy trinity of Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man against Thanos, who, like a boss, was just sitting there and waiting for the Avengers, who suspected nothing, as the arrogant never do. Clint finds the gauntlet in the rubbles and manages to guard it till he is faced with the deceiving 2014 Nebula. Luckily, the 2014 repenting Gamora and our Nebula stop her. Nebula kills past Nebula, and in essence, she kills that dark side of herself. And in the process, saving herself a hefty sum in future therapy expenses. Thanos is a beast. Our holy trinity does not manage to put him down. They run different plays on him. Tag teams, air attacks, ground attacks. Thanos is too strong, too determined. As Thor was about to get axed, a miracle occurred, and Mjolnir came to the rescue. But who was wielding it? None other than Captain America. He was worthy all along. An amazing callback to the Age of Ultron tease we got all these years before. Cap is taking it to Thanos, kicking his titan ass, summoning lightning and giving Thanos a healthy dose of Asgardian magic right between the eyes. Thanos regroups and beats the living crap out of our beloved Steve Rogers. Steve is Steve. He can do that all day. And there, for a moment, we had Steve Rogers with his never say die attitude rising up against the entirety of Thanos' army. If he's going down, he's gonna go down fighting. Cap, on your left. Oh, how those words resonate. Those words bring hope. Those words bring faith. And those words bring back the fallen Avengers. Oh yes, baby, they're back. They're all back. And they are pissed. They are really pissed. Thanos, beware. Avengers, assemble. This was probably the most epic fight ever portrayed on any screen. Everybody who's anybody, and a few nobodies, they were all there, fighting, uniting, avenging. The final battle was a spectacle to watch, with cool team-ups and callbacks along the way. We have a fully equipped Infinity Gauntlet. We also have one angry Titan going after it. You better keep it as far away as possible. Speaking of keeping something as far away as possible, Wanda locked eyes with Thanos, who took everything from her. Thanos didn't even know who she was. You will, Wanda said. And then she proceeded to whooping Thanos like there's no tomorrow. Wanda is not to be messed with. Open your umbrellas, because Thanos decided to rain fire and annihilate everybody on the battlefield. Oh, the explosions. Oh, the horror. But guess who decides to give the assist? Captain Marvel comes back, how convenient, and obliterates Thanos' ship. Captain Marvel is oh so powerful. Hey, Peter Parker. Captain Marvel takes charge of the gauntlet and faces Thanos' armies. But don't worry, she's not alone! Go get 'em, ladies! Thanos is Thanos for a reason. The battle ensues. Everybody's trying to prevent Thanos from getting the gauntlet. Thor, Steve, Carol. Thanos manages to fight them all off. Thanos even scored the headbutt heard around the world. To Carol. One finger goes up in the air. Tony, there was no other way. These words echo in Tony's mind. Thanos is inevitable, but Tony is Iron Man. Tony knows what he must do. Launches himself at Thanos, works some nanotech magic. Thanos finally snaps his fingers, but oh wait, where are the stones? I am Iron Man. With his famous last words, Tony makes the ultimate sacrifice and snaps away all the evil Thanos forces and turns them into dust. Poetic justice indeed. Thanos is defeated. Tony Stark is dead. The action sequences are nothing short of spectacular. The battle against Thanos and his forces is a visual feast, and the use of CGI is seamless. But what sets Endgame apart is what it doesn't rely solely on: spectacle. The film's true power lies in its ability to make you care deeply about the characters and their motivations, making the action sequences all the more impactful. The funeral of Tony Stark signifies as the end of an era and the passing of the mantle to a new generation. The scene encapsulates themes of selflessness as Stark's ultimate sacrifice saved the universe, and it highlights the profound impact one individual can have on the collective fate of humanity. The floating proof that Tony Stark has a heart released into the lake becomes a powerful symbol of his humanity and the enduring legacy he leaves behind. The somber atmosphere and the assembled cast of characters paying their respects underscore the interconnectedness of the Marvel Universe, emphasizing that even in loss, the spirit of heroism lives on. Avengers Endgame pays homage to the entire MCU, with callbacks and references that are an absolute delight to us nerdy fans who have been following the saga from the beginning. It's a love letter to the fans who have invested so much in this cinematic universe, rewarding their decision with moments of pure fan service. Avengers Endgame, directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, the epic conclusion to the Infinity Saga, garnered immense anticipation and delivered on the expectations of fans worldwide, boasting a star-studded ensemble cast and a meticulously crafted narrative that spanned over a decade of interconnected storytelling. Its global box office earnings, totaling over $2.79 billion worldwide. An unprecedented box office success, solidifying its place as a cinematic juggernaut. The film swiftly became the highest grossing movie of all time, surpassing the previous record holder, Avatar, for at least a few months. In the end, all of our favorite characters are back where they belong, gearing up for the dreaded Phase 4 of their superhero lives. And Steve has a task to do. All the stones must go back to where they came from. Steve goes to his journey. For him, it could take a lifetime, but for us, just a few seconds. Few seconds later. No Steve Rogers! Where's Steve? And out there, in the back, an old guy appears. Old man Steve Rogers, finally making a selfish decision to live his life. After being the man out of time, after sacrificing so much, he got that life Tony was talking about. But old man Steve is here with a purpose. We cannot live in a world without a Captain America. Steve gives Sam the shield and thus anoints him as the new Captain America. beautiful storytelling, and ultimately Steve Rogers was able to get that dance with Peggy after all. Avengers Endgame is a cinematic triumph that transcends the superhero genre. It's a deeply emotional and introspective journey that reminds us that even in the face of insurmountable odds, there is always hope, and that true heroes are defined not by their powers, but by their courage, sacrifice, and unwavering determination. It's a fitting and a satisfying conclusion to this chapter of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, leaving audiences with a sense of fulfillment and anticipation for what the future holds.
Me no likey, me no likey, me no likey.
Avengers Endgame was an event, a masterpiece, the culmination of the Infinity Saga, and in a way, the culmination of the MCU. But there were some stuff I didn't like, okay? Just a few things really I felt like highlighting. So this is what I, the boring one himself, did not like about Avengers Endgame. Fat PTSD Thor. Oh, what have they done to my Asgardian god? I got it at first. Thor was facing the consequences of not going for the head. He feels empty, dead inside even. So he resorts to beer and such. Thor wasn't really a contributing factor in the movie. Rocket got the reality stone by himself. In the final battle, Thor was not the main focus. You can argue that, well, Thor brought Mjolnir to the fight, which is something, of course. You would think that a pep talk from his mother would help him to bounce back. It helped, but not completely. Overall, a disappointing portrayal of Thor, like a joke that would not stop till the end of the movie. I mentioned this before. To me, Infinity War Thor was the ultimate Thor. And on Endgame, I just wished he would get a decent closure to his arc. Guess not. And oh yeah, we'll get there. Thor Love and Thunder did not help at all. The Hulk. Where is my beastly, uncontrolled, raging monster Hulk? Much like Thor, Hulk 2 took a backseat on this one. We got the smart Hulk, Professor Hulk, and yes, he did something. He snapped everyone back. That's a big deal, right? But when on the marquee it says Avengers, one would expect a hulking out moment. Hulk looked like the weakest ever. Well, a trend that would continue during the dreadful She-Hulk debacle. Okay, this is a small one, but the callback to the elevator scene from the Winter Soldier upon retrieving the Mind Stone. I didn't buy that Steve knew the S.H.I.E.L.D. Hydra agents in 2012. It just didn't fit. As Steve had shortly before gotten a defrost job, I believe there was a mention on the 2012 Avengers that the Chitauri invasion Loki ordeal thing was his first mission. His first mission back at the very least. So I didn't sense how Steve knew those Hydra agents in the elevator. Still an awesome callback. Just a minor flaw. You must have known this one was coming. Captain Marvel. Or should I say, in and out Captain Marvel. All in all, there was nothing wrong with her character. They made her super duper powered, great, good for her. But the usage of Carol during Endgame was essentially to be the MacGuffin of the movie. We see her in the beginning, great, she has to do space stuff, cool, so we won't be seeing her for a while. And then, of course, things got real. And Thanos went rampage. She came back and was a contributor to saving the day, knocking off Thanos' ship and preventing him from snapping. So yeah, not too clever. And also, can someone please explain to me how she was able to locate Stark and Nebula in the vast, endless space? Who knows? Too easy, Carol. It was way too easy. Minor flaw. Bucky is always shooting, in Endgame and also in Infinity War. Hello, super soldier, metal arm, him using a gun, an assault rifle, whatever. It's not putting one's resources into the best place. Justice for Bucky. Another minute defect or lack of consistency, which can be attributed to plenty of MCU shindigs. Doctor Strange. Instead of trying to block a water tornado thingy because the plot needed him to be less involved as possible, just send Thanos' armies to the mirror dimension, or open a portal in the ground to send them to Morag or something. Strange is not a character to be placed in battlefields, because he can finish it so quickly. Good attempt from the movie to keep him busy, but I had a hard time buying it. And lastly, just to round things up, 2012 Thor. Not buying that at all. That joyful Thor was not the one we had on the original Avengers. Quite far from it. I get why they did that. Great job, great acting, great performance. It did not make sense to me.
Spider-Man's name is Peter Parker. What the
It's Spidey time! Spider-Man Far From Home, released in 2019, marks Tom Holland's second solo outing as Peter Parker in the MCU. Directed by John Watts, picking up post Avengers Endgame. 5 years later, the film explores Peter's struggle to balance high school life with his superhero duties and the loss of Tony Stark. The film takes Peter and his friends on a European vacation, but his hopes of enjoying a break from superhero responsibilities are disrupted by a very persistent and a somewhat less familiar Nick Fury, who recruits him to combat elemental threats alongside Quentin Beck. Who? Beck, claiming to be from an alternate Earth, gains Peter's trust and becomes a mentor figure. But the audience is gradually letting on the illusion. Mysterio, a former Stark Industries employee, who was there, right there, for the beginning of Civil War during Tony's speech, using the immense power of retcon. Mysterio manipulates reality through advanced holographic technology, creating elaborate illusions to secure his position as Earth's next hero. He just wanted to use Peter. This twist adds layers, questioning appearances and the consequences of hero worship. Peter Parker is in the dumps, betrayed, so you know he has to go through a self-discovery cycle to come out stronger on the other side, even make a new suit on the way, because it is that easy. Third act, here we come! The climatic battle unfolds in London, a visual spectacle showcasing Mysterio's manipulation of reality. Building shift, illusion morph, and Spider-Man, armed with his spidey senses, confronts Mysterio in a battleground that tests both physical abilities and mental fortitude. In a dramatic turn of events, Spider-Man exposes Mysterio's illusions to the world, using his ingenuity and his trusty Spider-Sense. Peter navigates the complex illusions to reach the heart of Mysterio's operations. The reveal is not just about defeating a villain, but dismantling a carefully constructed facade of heroism. Mysterio's final moments are a testament to his manipulative nature. As he succumbs to his own illusions, the line between reality and deception blurs one last time. The resolution underscores the film's theme of navigating a world filled with illusions and the consequences of unchecked ambition. The film concludes with Peter's return to New York, now with a new girlfriend. Congrats, Peter! The film intricately explores Peter Parker's romantic journey with MJ. Amid superhero chaos, their connection evolves from teenage awkwardness to a sincere bond. MJ becomes more than a love interest, offering support and sharing Peter's secret. The film's resolution takes a significant turn as Peter reveals his identity to MJ. Well, she kinda figured it out herself, setting the stage for potential changes in the Spider-Man narrative. This nuanced portrayal of teenage romance with a superhero narrative adds a heartfelt dimension to the film. Far From Home not only advances the superhero story, but also crafts a compelling arc for Peter and MJ's relationship, making it a well-rounded addition to the MCU. So just wait for what's about to happen. And the post-credit scene set the stage for the future. The revelation of Peter's secret identity by none other than J. Jonah Jameson. What? Courtesy of Mysterio orchestrated video, propels the young hero into uncharted territory, setting up potential conflicts in the next Spider-Man installment and the wider MCU. Mysterio's illusions stand out as a cinematic marvel within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The seamless integration of practical effects and CGI create a visual spectacle, blurring the lines between reality and illusion. Mysterio's ability to manipulate perception challenges both the characters and the audience, injecting a psychological element into the superhero narrative. From the hauntingly realistic elemental threats to the mind-bending illusions in the final battle, the film masterfully employs visuals to convey the theme of deception. This all adds depth to Mysterio, making him a memorable and complex antagonist. Far From Home was a commercial triumph, grossing over $1.1 billion worldwide, becoming the highest grossing Spider-Man film at the time. Spoiler alert, this record is not going to last. The film adeptly blends humor, action, and teenage drama. Noteworthy performance by Holland and Gyllenhaal add depth, especially in Mysterio's illusions and the interaction between both. Spider-Man Far From Home delivers on superhero action while exploring themes of deception and identity. Peter is still under Tony's shadow, but that'll take care of itself in Spider-Man No Way Home. The exposure of Mysterio's illusions add layers to the narrative, making it a crucial piece in the MCU puzzle, and setting the stage for Spider-Man's evolving challenges in the expansive Marvel Cinematic Universe. Oh, and oh yeah, turned out Fury was a Skrull. Just because. Well, that's it for today, folks! Phase 3 was full of hits and one particular miss called Ant-Man and the Wasp. And thus it concludes. And it's on to Phase 4 to further our journey through a retroactive watchful eye. So be kind and like this video, share your comments down below, and subscribe to Mr. Boring! Yeah! What were your favorite moments from Phase 3? Don't be shy and let me know. And as always, you can check out some more boring videos right now.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.